Here is something that happens all the time in identity and access management. People use the words authentication and authorization interchangeably, but they're actually doing two completely different jobs. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what each one does using simple examples. Welcome back. I'm Srinath. If you are new here, in this channel, we break down identity and access management into simple, understandable concepts. In the last video, the link here, we went through 4 fundamental concepts of identity and access management. In this video, we will cover 2 of them. One, authentication, and the other one is authorization. I'm going to show you with hands-on and a demo application what authentication means and what authorization means and how they work together to make identity and access management system more secure. Ready? Let's go. So why does everyone mix these terms up? Honestly, it's because they sound similar. They both start with word auth. They both deal with security. And in practice, they almost happen simultaneously. You log in and boom, you're accessing stuff. So we think of them together as one login thing, but they are doing completely different jobs. Let us understand this with an example now. Imagine you're at an airport. You're about to board a flight to London. First, you go through check-in counter or security. They check your passport. They look at your face. They look at the photo and they verify, yes, you are who you say you are. That's authentication, proving your identity. But here is the thing. Just because it is now confirmed that the user is John Smith, for example, doesn't mean you can board any flight. You can't just walk on to Paris flight or Tokyo flight or a first class cabin if you have an economy ticket. Next, you go to your gate, you scan your boarding pass. The system checks, does John Smith have permission to board this flight, this specific seat at this specific time? That's authorization, checking what you are allowed to access. Okay, now let's dive deep into concept authentication. Authentication answers one question, who are you? Think about it like this. I can claim I'm Elon Musk. I can type Elon Musk into username field, but I can't prove it because I do not have their authentication token like password. So how does IAM systems verify identity? We use what is called authentication factors. There are 3 main types of authentication factors. First, something you know. They are passwords, pins, or security questions. Something stored in your brain. And second is something you have. Your phone, physical token, or an ID card, something in your possession. Lastly, third, which is something you are, which is something unique to you. Your fingerprint, your face ID, your voice, and other biometrics like palm, retina, all those. Here is the thing, all these prove just one thing, who you are. They are not deciding what you can do in the system. Okay, let us now understand authorization, which answers a different question, what you are allowed to access. Let's understand further this with an example. In this case, let's take an employee, Emily, as an example, who logs into the company with a password or ID card. But what can Emily access once she is logged in? That is the work of authorization. In this example, Emily can read marketing files, but she can't delete them. Emily can access the customer database, but only for her assigned customer, not others. All these actions or decisions, read versus delete, access customer A but not customer B, is the work of authorization process. In this particular example, IAM system will assign a role called marketing coordinator to do our daily job. All these sub-concepts like roles, entitlements, permissions, policies will assist the process authorization. Now let's see the difference between authentication and authorization side by side. Authentication proves who are you. Authorization proves what can you access. Authentication happens first, authorization happens second once authentication is successful. Authentication uses passwords, tokens, biometrics to prove. Authorization uses roles, permissions, policies, entitlements to prove access. Authentication is all about verifying your identity. Authorization is all about verifying your access within the system. 2 different processes, 2 different jobs, but they work together to provide security in a IAM system. Alright, now that you understand these concepts, let me show you with a real hands-on example how these 2 work together in an IAM system. Okay, here I have set up a simple demo application to show how authentication and authorization work. For IAM platform, I'm using Auth0, which has a free trial access that I'm utilizing here for this demo. In this example, I have set up 2 users. One is admin user, which has access to all the tabs in this application. I'll come to that. This user, admin user, has a role called messages admin, which means they can see an admin tab on the application. There is another user called just user at iamacademy.srinath.com. This user has no admin role, which means they cannot access admin tab. Okay, let's go to the scenario 1 to demo how authentication works in an IAM system. So here there is a login button and there is a profile tab and public tab. There is still one more tab called admin tab that you cannot see it here, which is only available once you log in. When you click on the profile page, it goes to the login page. In a way, the IAM system is saying, I need to know who you are, which means prove via your username and password. So here, let us first log in as an admin user. Here you see their own profile page with their own profile information and protected page, which is available for all the logged in users. And then when you click on admin page, here it says this is an admin message. I've just set up this application to show this message, but usually you will see actual application related UI here. Now we will go to the third scenario or the last scenario where we will show for an user how authorization works who doesn't have access to certain tabs. So let us try to log in as normal user now instead of admin. So when I click login here, when I go to protected page, it is available because it is available for any authenticated user. When I click on admin tab, I see permission denied message because this user does not have a role and this tab is available only for users with admin role that we have assigned for the admin user, but not for this user. So that's how authentication works at the login time, and authorization works once you log in. You try to access something in the application, it verifies first through your roles or access rights or policies. So in this case, roles, that's authorization. There we are. If this video has helped you in any way, please hit that like button so that other learners can find this content and this channel. Also do subscribe because I will be covering more IAM concepts in the upcoming videos, as well as more hands-on demos with various IAM products. Finally, drop a comment below what you want me to cover in an identity and access management system or a concept. I will cover that in the upcoming videos. Until then, keep learning. See you in the next video. Bye.